the best part about that is it's not saying accept gay lesbians, but it's giving you something to think about. Because
Yes.
when Dax was married to that other Trill, it wasn't when they were both female. One was male, one was female. And the thing that you get to think about is with a species like the Trill, does true love transcend the switch in the physical gender of the host?
Yes. Like it is their concept of love. Skin deep, if you will.
Yeah, and does it diminish or does it increase, or what are the details there? And they
Yes.
don't never tell us. They gave us that to think about. And in thinking about that for a Trill, and does the love transcend the the physical gender of the host? Do we get to then think about that for those of us who don't have slugs in our guts?
Yes.
You know, and again, it gives you something to think about without telling you what to think, and that's the major difference. You can do that with Friday the 13th too. You can do that with any property.
Yeah.
All you have to do is give people something to think about, leave a little bit of mystery. Dave McRae quite rightly said, no one should ever know Michael Myers' process, and we shouldn't.
See, that
Because then it
requires
becomes
writers with talent.
unless we're shifting into a different kind of film.
Okay.
If we start with the original Halloween, and maybe what we learn in a part two is that in part one, because part one takes place pretty much over one
Writers
day,
with talent.
in the original film.
Mm-hmm.
What if we find out that in the original film, Michael was still, his body was still flushing all the drugs out of his system.
Okay.
So he was still pretty much doped up on thalidomide or thallium or whatever they put him on.
Whatever juice.
Quadrohypo yakka yakka hydrazate or whatever.
Whatever go juice they had him on.
So wouldn't that make you know wouldn't that then suggest if part two didn't take place the moment that part one ended,
Mm-hmm.
if part two took place, stuff started happening like a week later, a year later, by then the drugs would be out of his system and Michael would be behaving different.
He would be more
And
into it.
well, maybe he'd be more. Would he be more dangerous, or would he be less dangerous and more normal?
Mm.
What's that's an angle on Michael Myers no one ever talks about the at what point do the drugs wear out of his system, and what happens then, or is he always just this? Because as much as he's faking it, and as much as he seems to have a tippy toe into the supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
you that doesn't make him immune to all the drugs that are probably pumped into him. How did the drugs change him over 15 years in a sanitarium? We never get to see that movie, do we?
Nope.
Oh, and incidentally, I have a way to wrap up the Halloween franchise way better than David Gordon Green and Jamie Lee Curtis and Blumhouse did.
How?
The way I would wrap it up, and this would be the end of a new trilogy most likely, but the end point is in part a courtroom drama, and in that courtroom drama, one of the things we learn is that a lot of places in the Halloween franchise where shit took sideways turns, like the
Mm-hmm.
Curse of Thorn and Gotta Kill My Whole Family and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that stuff takes place in Michael's head, and we see that demonstrated because he's in court in the courtroom drama part of that film,
Okay.
and he's not well, but he's well enough to sit there and draw pictures, and he draws pictures that are clearly references to those other films.
Ooh.
So he doesn't really have a niece named Jamie, but in his imagination he does. And once we realize that the Curse of Thorn, the Man in Black, the niece Jamie, and all that stuff having the baby, and once we and even Lori going to be a teacher, a principal at a boarding school in California,
Mm-hmm.
and Michael taking a road trip for some reason.
Yeah.
The reality show, because they'd have TVs in sanitariums just to shut everyone up.
You're right.
Michael would incorporate that stuff into his delusions, and if we make it so his delusions, or so that a lot of those movies that took a sharp sideways turn
Mm-hmm.
um, are just his delusions instead of what he actually did,
Yes.
then though they can all be canon and make sense. And then because I think I would use this court thing, and if we could illustrate that in the first 5-10 minutes of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
it's at his court appearance where he breaks out again.
Okay.
He breaks out at the courthouse and he goes off to do whatever wherever. And boom, the whole series is now in canon in a way that makes sense.
And now it's a criminal a manhunt story.
Yeah, and furthermore, you have as part of the testimony, you see Michael still drawing these things, but there are past drawings too that can be entered into evidence.
Okay.
And those past drawings entered into evidence, they're evidence that he's still homicidal, that he still has these fantasies of killing his niece, his imagined other sister, etc., etc. And you can actually put into dialogue those things that make those other films make sense in the canon. Hollywood is never going to do that because they think Halloween film, Michael Myers has to have a mask and he has to kill people. He has to kill teenagers. It's always they got to kill teenagers.
Always got to die.
Here and there. I'm sorry. We got to get playing something. What do we? But that's how you do it. It just takes a little bit of imagination, and that's what Hollywood is lacking. Imagination, follow through, characters and stories that make sense. That's all we need.
Want to do an episode?
If you like, pick one.
Let's do the Delta Quadrant.
Oh no. Okay. There's some I won't do. So let me go through. Where the hell? There it is.
Welcome to the Delta Quadrant.
I don't want to do Mindscape. That's annoying.
All right, let's skip Mindscape.
A group of Talaxians living in the Intaba system are ready to...
But reunion, I think we can get away with reunion.
Admiral Tuvok and Voyager have gone ahead. There's something...
There's some further along that are basically the chompers from Galaxy Quest and... Let's see, reunion. There we go. Set course.
Yo, Raden, my first foray into Rumble ended in tragic failure, but it's only my first foray.
We don't know if that's a Rumble issue or not. I don't think it is.
That's true. It could have been an OBS issue. But like I said, it's just my first foray. It won't be my last. It could have
been your, what is it you're using? Surf Ninja or whatever you call it?
Yes, Chat Ninja.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, like I said, it's my first foray. It's not going to be my last. I'll get it to work.
Tell me when you're ready to begin the operation.
My ship is slow.
You're slower than I am. Yeah.
My ship was built by Methuselah.
But see, that's the funny thing. I chat with a bunch of people about this stuff. A lot of people have
Ready.
some really... All right, going in. Have some really solid ideas about how to take these franchises and tell some good stories. And if they're not completely mapped out or anything, they are good foundations for telling good stories.
Yes.
Oh no, it's the chasm.
The funny hair people.
Yeah, it's
Voyager is
the
under attack by the Kazon.
oh,
Engines
God.
are offline.
It's the people with the coral hair.
Yes. But like you said, there are plenty of interesting ideas. Again, when he would have pulled Blood and Honey, I'm not angry that it exists. It is a unique take. It was poorly done, but again, a horror movie version of the 100 Acre Woods.
Yeah. It's a good idea. The tragedy is that they didn't find a way to work Eeyore into it.
Yes.
The Eeyore, they killed Eeyore off screen before the story takes place, if I'm not mistaken.
And they only had Piglet, Tigger, and Pooh.
The thing is, with Eeyore, he's got that voice. You know, if you play with that in a movie like this, that would be awesome.
Your assistance.
Well,
This base is populated
you're
by
gonna
time
die.
My ship make the voyage.
Or shit, you got someone like Rabbit and Christopher Owl, you know?
Been looking for a new
Yeah.
home for quite some time.
You know, characters.
You
Go ahead.
get people to replicate the voices used in the cartoons,
The
Mhm.
Alliance's history with the relocation of the
and
Ramen
there's
is
so much material to mine that way. But no, they went with masked slashers for some reason.
Yes. Shit, you could even have that they're demons. That Christopher Robin's whole mission was to keep them in the 100 Acre Woods.
Yeah.
God, Neelix.
And no one else could do it. Yeah, I know.
You know, but there's always a way. Maybe I'm super loud. Let me check. Because he was saying that you're either super low or I'm super loud. So let me...
I wonder what the Discord settings are like. I don't know. Earlier, I heard me come through your end pretty well.
Hold on. I think it's... Let me try this. Hold on.
Holding on. I'll
Do,
go
do,
fix some
do.
more satellites.
Lock.
It's just I'm annoyed that these people who are allegedly professionals in their fields can't get the job done.
Rotten. How is it now?
Indeed.
But yes, again, it's more of a lack of creativity and let's make a quick buck instead of telling a good story.
Yeah. Tell me when you're ready to beam down, and I'll push the button.
Beam down.
All right. It's frustrating because, you know, here we are coming up with ideas that would be better foundations. And I wonder sometimes, okay, I'm skipping past the Neelix. I wonder sometimes if they come up with those ideas like we do. And we know about studio interference, but are there other things that can kill a story in that process? What weapon is that? Oh, that's the board. I know which one that is. Okay.
Wait a minute. Rotncorpse said, from what I know, that explains the lack of 100 Acre Woods characters. With they ate the others to survive. And you sound
Yeah, see, that's a nice thing to put in there, but I don't know. I think I would have, you know, I always thought what another this but that scenario, The Wizard of Oz, but it's a slasher film. except in this case, they're not. The part about in the Wizard of Oz where go get the witch's broom.
Mm-hmm.
The witch is the psycho killer. Maybe it's
Oh!
not a slasher film. Maybe it's
family, children.
I got an idea for that
Being
one.
here has changed me for the better.
what's that?
All right, so the witch is the psycho killer. Her sister was the good one trying to keep her
Indeed.
controlled.
This colony is
You know-
Okay.
your previous home.
You know, when you drop the house on her sister, you drop the house on the one person that was keeping her.
Twice as
Hey,
large and
come on, Glenda,
completely
don't do
updated.
that.
You should see the
And
kitchen.
Glenda's actually evil.
Well, Glenda was the good witch of the
But you
North.
still seek
Yeah,
a
but
new homeworld.
in this universe, with her being a slash flick, the good witch of the North is an insult.
Of course, children need
Oh,
sun
okay.
and open skies.
Oh, the good witch of the
it's-
North.
Roots.
It's said with irony and sarcasm.
Yeah, you know, make it that all the witches are actually just evil.
Just in different ways. That would work.
Yes. You know, Glenda had the Munchkins terrified of her. You know, it was the Good Witch of the East that put the spell on Tin Man. You know, and
I'm
that
gonna sneeze here.
and that Oz is sort of like like they're terrified of Oz because, oh shit, he's the great and powerful, and he could stop us at any moment.
Do something.
So they don't fuck with him. But he can't do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
so that's why the Emerald City is like basically safe.
Yeah.
Who am I
But
rescuing?
Oz has gone the way of Crazy Ralph.
Gets us a little dizzy.
Yes.
But she'll be
He's still able to keep the psycho witches at bay, but only within the Emerald City.
Yes.
And the psycho witches are displaying different kinds of psycho. Like Glenda has cursed the Munchkins, but
Yes.
she's cursed them with kindness and cheer. And that may not sound like an evil thing, but imagine having only one emotional state that you're able to express all the time,
Or I got one better
regardless
for
of
you.
the circumstances. That's fucking freaky, man.
Do you remember the Twilight Zone episode with the boy who when you made him mad he like banished you to the cornfield?
Yeah,
That is Glenda.
that kind of shit. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're unhappy? Okay. I guess you're gonna become a brick in the yellow brick road.
Yeah, something to that effect, and it's a very effective way to write frightening material,
Yes.
because it's not frightening just on a childish level or a let's call it a Disney level.
Yes.
It's frightening on a more fundamental level than that.
Yeah,
Not only do you
she
get-
basically enslaved you.
Yeah, basically, if you break the hex about all that cheer, then you get banished to the yellow brick road. Or you get banished regardless. Or what if in this version the yellow brick road leads to the Emerald City, and that's safety, right? But where does that red brick road lead?
Oh.
Maybe in this version, not only do we follow the yellow brick road and tell a truncated version of the Wizard of Oz, but we follow it up immediately. Or no, better than that, we destroy one of the witches, like the Wizard of Oz story went. We destroy one of them, the Wicked Witch of the West. The Wicked Witch of the East is already destroyed by the house.
Okay.
But then we get we have to destroy. Okay, let's do it in order. In the first film, we drop the house on the Wicked Witch of the East. She dies by accident.
Yeah. So it freed the Munchkins, but Glinda moves in, and now she's cursed them. She takes over her territory.
Well, no, Glenda was already had already cursed the Munchkins. The
Okay.
Wicked Witch of the East was trying to move in on her territory,
Okay.
but instead, the Wicked Witch of the East house lands on her. Glinda thinks it's a kindness on our part, Dorothy's part,
Mm-hmm.
and throws the slippers on Dorothy, only to find out that Dorothy's not. What are you doing? Where are you going?
I'm trying to find out where the hell I go after this one. I've never played this mission before.
Oh, okay. It's this way somewhere.
Okay. But you were saying?
Oh yeah. But Glinda basically gives Dorothy the slippers as a kindness, as a return of a favor.
Okay.
Isn't here I want to go? Check it. Oh, down here somewhere. And then off to see the wizard, and that's how they wind up killing the Wicked Witch of the West.
I found it.
Cool. Then that's the first movie.
Okay.
The second movie. Now we got the Wicked Witch of the West, the Wicked Witch of the East, and the so-called Good Witch. And she's called the Good Witch because, not because she's a decent person, but because her magic
Force you to be good.
isn't hyper reflective of evil. She's not throwing fireballs. She's throwing bubbles. It's the because her magic is the image of good without actually being good.
Ooh.
While still being evil.
So she instead of like turning you into a frog, she turns you to a little bunny.
Yeah, basically. Her magic is cute, but it's only on the surface. It actually hides something far, far more sinister.
Okay.
And then that gives us, I think Glenda should be the final villain.
Okay.
Glinda, not Glenda, but Glinda.
She
should be she should be the final monster that we kill in the third movie. So the second movie, we follow that red brick road
to the south.
To the Witch of the South, exactly.
Loading this ship.
The lack of discipline among the Talaxians is alarming.
God, see, this kind of busy work I hate. But there, we've got and Wizard of Oz is now in the public domain.
Really? I've known Mannix for many years now. If he
So-
says he traded shifts, I believe him.
So someone can make these movies without having to license the property.
Yeah. Again.
I
So
don't
we
think that's
essentially
very
turned a
much
good
something
cutesy
that
story
is extremely
into something dark and monstrous.
Yeah,
Again,
this but that.
yeah. You
The
have
Wizard of Oz. It's not really a slasher film,
but it's a horror
but
story.
yes, exactly. It's still a horror story, and it would be such a fun
Oh, Drexa never worries about
trilogy to watch, wouldn't it?
She's one of
Yeah.
the nicest people I know.
And boom, there you go. Here you and I are. We just brainstormed this whole fucking thing, and not the whole fucking thing. We brainstormed
A premise.
seed. Yeah, a premise. But what I am unfamiliar with in the business is how does this premise go from the first script, the first version, to woke nonsense or
Oh,
Um,
is it really?
or any of the other stuff doesn't make sense shit that will kill the concept and the movie and get us, we'll get the first film made, but no one will watch it because it doesn't make sense because the story is somehow turned to shit and no one likes the characters. What kind of influence is being had on us as the screenwriter or the director or whoever that makes that happen? That's what I don't know. I mean, I know studio interference, give us more boobies, needs to have more blood. My sister's cousin's son needs a job. We know those things. because we hear about them. But
Basic meddling.
Sounds
yeah, what other kind of meddling is involved that fucks it up? Okay, so help astrometric scientists. There we go. This way. And like that's the stuff that we don't know about
Okay.
because we're not in the business, and there's a lot of in the business. There's a lot of stuff you just don't talk about
by adjusting the sensor array's pitch.
if you want to stay in the business. Fortunately, I'm above that because I'm not in the business, and I can say Kathleen Kennedy's a dick.
Yeah.
I can say J.J. Abrams is a franchise killer. Why? Because I'm not in the business. I'm an entertainment critic, but I'm not the kind of. Oh God. Okay, I'm not messing with that because it looks like you are.
Yeah.
But being a critic, I'm not the kind of critic who's going to go in and kiss ass just to have access, like the mainstream journalism critics are. Because I'm never going to do that. I mean, there are things, as much as I
can't.
how do I say this without saying it? There's a reason I'm not saying it. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
In Womp Stomp Films Never Hike Alone 2, there's a couple of things I saw that I really did not like. The reason I never mention those things is because I don't want other people to see them, and I think I see them because I notice things.
You're more observant.
No, I wouldn't say more observant. I would say, how do I explain it? This is not easy, man. Transport Admiral Tuvok, probably from. Yep. There are some things in that film that cross over with my body of experience professionally.
Okay.
In short, I used to do a job, and there are some things I notice that I don't want other people to see this, so it's hard for me to. The reason I don't want other people to see it is because I think I see it for, not because it's bad, but because I know a thing about a thing.
You're an expert in that area.
I wouldn't say expert, but I know a thing about a thing. It's like when you're a guitar player, or you play a piano, or you do a musical instrument, or a martial art, warp to new telex. When you see them do it wrong in a movie, it stands out to you.
Yes.
It's that kind of a thing, and I don't want to point it out so people see it if it doesn't stand out to them, because it doesn't really hurt the movie, but it's something I notice, if you know what I mean. It doesn't diminish the film.
Okay.
But because I have a certain experience, it's, and I don't count that as doing the what do you call it? Okay. I don't count that as kissing ass, because that's a different thing. Kissing ass is saying Captain Marvel is the best movie of all time,
even though it is objectively.
Even though it's a raging lump of shit. It's lying when I know the truth. That's the difference. Oh, I got to contact the Malon. It's fine. Don't fly into the clouds. They'll ruffle your feathers. Dude, how do you blow your nose? There we go.
Yeah.
That's.
Didn't we? Oh Lord Jesus Christ.
What?
So the issue with the about the Malon, right?
Yeah. The space polluters.
Yeah, which makes no fucking sense.
No, it really doesn't. Again, it's another it's another place where the messaging was too on point.
Yeah. It's fucking space. It's not like they're dumping Omega.
Right.
You know, it's not gonna hurt space.
Well, the weird part, it's radioactive material, right?
Yes.
Dump it into a star.
There you go. Shit, fire it on a rocket and dump it into a star. No one's getting hurt. Like, and you can't pollute space because no one lives there. Like, if you were to put this around, say, an asteroid belt where it's like 2 dead stars, all the planets are fucked.
Yeah.
Who cares? If we had the technology and we decided to trash Pluto, we can't survive there.
Right.
The Malon are gone, but the radiation is still around. Oh, what can we do?
Yeah, let's clean it up. We'll go this way, you go that way. I'll wait to see which way you're... Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? There we go.
Rotncorpse. So all the witches are at war with each other, and Glenda unintentionally summoned Dorothy to fight on her behalf. Ooh, that's an even better idea.
There you go.
And the wizard was originally summoned by Glenda to be her fighter, but he's like, "Fuck you! I'm not doing it for either one of y'all."
Yeah, and he gained power and got out from under her thumb, and was never made a brick or was never made a poppy. You know.
Yes. Ooh, that's even
Poppies
better.
will make them sleep.
That's even better. Like,
or it turns them into those talking apple trees.
Yes, it literally turns what was essentially something cute and fun and whimsical into this epic horror. Like, these are actual people that pissed off the witches.
Yeah, they're almost like a mafia, but it's so much more horrifying than that.
Oh, you're not gonna sleep with the fishes. Oh, you don't want to cut down trees for me? I guess you'll become a tree. Since you love them so much.
Yeah.
Ooh, makes it even worse. Say the woodsman's family are the fucking apple trees, and they're forced to watch like their father or their brother forever sit there.
You are a true friend.
Yeah.
And to the Thalaxian people.
Well, I guess we're departing a system.
I guess we are.
All right. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to take that and make it into something truly frightening.
I got Rotncorpse again. All right, and as the story progresses, Dorothy gains a magical item from each of the witches, and slowly corrupting her. It could end up driving her to become an even stronger witch, or who's more unhinged. So she's becoming the monster. Oh yes.
Oh, that's even more fun because, I mean, it's very Lord of the Rings, but we're not going to a volcano either.
Yeah.
And it's not one item. It's like the combination of these items. It's the witch's broom. It's the ruby slippers. It's a sordid talisman, and when you get them all together, the evil that resided in the witches still exists in those items, so it starts to seep into her.
Oh yeah.
But then by that last film in this trilogy, is she strong enough to withstand it and to resist it?
Shit. If you have her become
and what
evil,
what does she learn along the way? What are the friends she makes? How do they help her to counteract it?
Or hell, even if you have it take a darker path where she becomes the evil, you already set up for the next trilogy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's taking her down. No, or you can have we don't have that many bittersweet endings in movies where the hero has to sacrifice himself to contain the epic evil. It always ends with the hero winning the day and the evil is destroyed and goodness reigns. How about in this story, in our version of The Wizard of Oz, she decides, like, you know what? if I don't take the place of the witches, something even worse will come.
Right.
And then you, because I believe there's a book that's a sequel to The Wizard of Oz, and it's someone else. It isn't Dorothy, if I'm not mistaken. So you can have a new group of heroes, going through the same trials, but it's just one witch. It is the Supreme Witch.
Yes, instead of the the witch of the west, northeast, south, whatever, she becomes the witch supreme.
Yes.
Or the supreme witch, or whatever, the ultra witch, whatever we want to call her.
Yes.
And she becomes the villain in the next trilogy, but even at the end of the next trilogy, we learn that she only became the villain to prevent the evil from affecting everybody.
Yes. And you can keep the bittersweet going. The next hero takes on, I guess I gotta take on the mantle because I defeated her. That's the price of victory.
Maybe, yeah. But there's a lot of ways to make it bittersweet. Maybe Dorothy, the Witch Supreme, defeats this new hero. And then that's the final key, or that's the final, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. And Dorothy, in doing that, the regret and self-recrimination of that act of killing the new hero is finally able to gin up the internal strength to destroy the evil.
Ooh.
And then boom, we have the end at the third trilogy. At the second trilogy, we have the end of the whole tale, and boom, we have an ending.
Shit, it mirrors. It's a better version of the Star Wars trilogy we're talking about. How the first set of films, the original trilogy was the rise of Luke Skywalker as a hero, and then the prequels were the fall of Darth Vader or fall of Anakin. Well, here it is. It's the fall of Dorothy and the rise of hero blah.
Yeah. It's the same kind of up and down thing, but the hero still gets to be the hero in the end.
Yes.
Even though she has that deep turn to evil.
She had that one brief moment of like, this is wrong.
And
there you go.
Oh.
Go ahead.
God, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I like it. The whole thing about Glinda being evil with a smiley face.
Mm-hmm.
How not only how Satan is that, because that's what Satan's supposed to be, the beautiful thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how good a morality tale is that? Behind every smile there's a knife. Watch your back. Don't make decisions based on surface level information.
Evil comes in shiny packages.
Yeah, basically, and it's a good morality tale. What do we do? Another episode? You want to do the next?
Yeah,
Delta?
let's do another. Yep.
All right, what is that one? Just did reunion. That one's not replayable.
Friends in unlikely places.
30 years since Voyager passed through.
Yeah, that's not replayable for me.
Then I'll skip it. Skip.
We've
Revelations?
received a press call from the
Yep.
USS Callisto. The signal was garbled. There's something interesting I'd like you to look at.
Set a course.
I really don't enjoy Kate Mulgrew's voice. There we go. There we go. But see, there again, we've just created 2 trilogies in the Wizard of Oz world, or at least the foundation, right? So, what in the process is going to poison it? That's what we need to figure out.
Well, what's going to poison it is the first off is probably going to be studio meddling.
No, here's the thing. Here's the interesting part.
Okay.
The Wizard of Oz is in the public domain.
All right.
So if we want to put together the money, we can just make the movie.
Okay.
I mean, there's probably still going to be a bunch of bullshit with
Distribution and shit like that.
yeah, but what I'm thinking is, let's say you and I were able to crowdfund it.
Okay.
Okay, here we have this premise. We want to crowdfund this, and the first stage of the crowdfunding, we want to be able to pay a writer to write these two trilogies. And the reason I'd want it to be one writer, or at least a very small team,
Less
is
opinions
because,
and more. I'm able to screen you better.
well, not just that, but that's going to be one of the keys to making the story consistent.
Well, true, yes.
Let's see. Why I want back up.
Rotncorpse again. That's why the witches are fighting. They want the item to expand their power and influence.
Well, no, there is no item, no single item, because I think that's too Lord of the Rings, and I don't want that comparison. And I think it's still too Lord of the Rings when it's even with the 4 different items: the slippers, the broomstick, the compass, and the paper ass gasket you put on a public toilet seat that the fourth witch has.
Or you could just have it that, Dorothy has to absorb, like, to kill them. It takes a piece of the essence of Oz itself. For each life you take, it takes a piece of yours, or it takes a piece of your soul.
Oh shit!
What?
Okay. Yeah, it just hit me.
Go ahead.
The first thing we get is the ruby slippers. Okay. Then we get the broomstick.
Okay.
And in the next movie, Dorothy has turned that broomstick, even though she got it for Oz gifted it back to her.
Mm-hmm.
And Dorothy has turned it into a kind of a staff type weapon. Maybe even a spear, but something that has a head on it, like a long-handled mace or something.
Okay.
And eventually that thing is going to become a scepter for Dorothy when she turns evil.
Okay.
But essentially what's happening is she's acquiring the garments
of a witch.
Of the witch supreme. That I don't know, that let's not go down the prophecy route.
Okay.
This is just something we learn as we go in this trilogy.
It's not a prophecy. It's more like anyone could become the witch supreme if they were to do this. It just so happened that Dorothy did it.
Right. And it's not like it's something that happens it's not like there's already a formula for it. Mm-hmm. It's just something that happens because Dorothy's the first one to do it.
Yes.
And it's not even these specific items. It requires different items from different witches. But she gets, like I said before, the different evil all joins within her because she's wearing the shoes. She's holding the scepter, which is going to serve like a magic wand kind of purpose over time. Mm-hmm. She's maybe she's wearing the dress or the belt or the vest or something of one, and then the final piece that actually turns her all the way is Glenda's crown. So it's a fashion accessory kind of story. Maybe it's not a dress, maybe it's just an amulet, but it's a fashion accessory kind of story. Use the scepter, the amulet, and the crown. And when these things combine on one person, the evil that they've been infected with from their prior owners essentially pollute the wearer.
Okay.
And transforms her. And boom, there's our villain for the next trilogy, like you said. And the trick, again, is to get these items. Someone figures it out in the next trilogy. Maybe it's Mr. If I Only Had a Brain, Strawman.
Yeah.
Scarecrow. Maybe he's the one who figures it out. and and here's where it gets fun,
Sensors are picking up inbound energy
because
signatures.
at first our new adventurer, our new Dorothy. Shall we begin revelations while we're at it?
Well, I'm already inside.
Oh, okay. Our new Dorothy, which is we need to give her a different name now. Let's
How
call
about
her
Audrey?
Matilda.
Matilda. I like that one.
Okay. So Matilda is our new hero in the second trilogy.
Okay.
Or it could even be Rick. I don't know. Let's go with Matilda for now.
All right.
Sorry, I got to crack apart. Oh. But Matilda has enlisted the aid of the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Scarecrow
Okay.
to help
Free Oz.
yeah, well, no, to help rid Dorothy, or to help confront Dorothy. Why are you doing this? You're better than this, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when Dorothy kills Scarecrow.
Ah.
You gotta have
sets him on
Scarecrow
fire.
get killed. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I have a way to bring him back too. So in case someone decides it's too dark, or in case I think it's too dark,
Okay.
I got a way to bring him back. Because all we need to do is rescue, get a couple of the buttons from his outfit, maybe his hat, and
put him on
then
another
restuff.
Scarecrow.
Put him on another Scarecrow and restuff it with straw, and boom, he's back.
Okay.
But no, I don't want to do that though, because that feels like a cop out. You know?
This is a general.
The terrain
Hell, why not? Why not instead of having, how about maybe not kill the Scarecrow because technically he's integral to the story. Why not kill the Cowardly Lion? His one act of bravery is standing up to Dorothy, and he dies, making sure that they can get out.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can see that. Leave the terrain system. Yeah, I can see that working.
Okay.
Because the Cowardly Lion is kind of a sympathetic character to begin with. You feel bad for him, right?
Yes.
So to kill him off in that first movie of the second trilogy is kind of brutal. And you need, understand, I've left the please stand by thing up all this time.
Ouch.
God damn it.
We've arrived in this ray system.
We need to set stakes because again, people.
Well, yeah, you need brutality,
Yes.
but not casual brutality.
Meaningful brutality. Meaningful deaths.
And Dorothy killing one of her former friends is a piece of the equation that pulls her back, but it's not enough.
You can have her get you can clearly see she misses him. Like maybe she does something morbid with his body. Maybe she keeps his hide nearby, not as a trophy, but she uses it to hold and comfort her when she's doing something really mean. Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
The show even as a twisted human being, she loved him.
See what the Cowardly Lion got gypped. All he got was a testimonial or something like that, right?
Or maybe she takes his testimonial.
No, I got a better one.
Okay.
If you remember, after when they first got to Oz, before they went to visit the wizard, part of the cleaning everyone up routine was he got that ribbon in his hair.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a better touch. And
She
Dorothy
takes the
holds
ribbon.
on to that.
The Voth and
Yeah, and that ribbon, that's going to be soaked with good, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's going to be part of the equation. The Scarecrow figures it out. The ribbon has tamed her a little bit. So, maybe the Scarecrow donates a hat or a glove or something, and the Tin Man donates something else.
Have him give his heart.
Something. I don't think it should be his heart because he needs that.
Well, no, not his the remember the heart he gets from the wizard.
Yeah, I know. I knew what you meant. I think he should hold on to that because I think it needs to be something more personal to the Tin Man. Maybe not his axe, but maybe his axe.
The invaders attacked his facility, but
They did not do significant.
But
structural
basically,
damage.
they all give something
Were,
that's
however, able to take
personal
down-
to them.
Okay.
The heart was a gift,
was a
so I don't
firefight.
view that as personal, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Even though it's
Oh,
that
oh!
heart is just a symbol. It wouldn't.
I got one. I got the perfect thing to give to her. He gives her his oil can. He needs
There
his
you go.
oil can, but he gives it to her because if I don't have this, if you don't oil my joints, I'm basically stoned or frozen.
Yeah.
You know,
So
this is basically
it's
death for me.
something that's a risk for him.
Yes.
Yeah, see that I could get behind.
Without it, I'm essentially dead anyway. Even if I'm alive, I'm
It's
dead.
a door best left
Right.
unopened.
Oops. Okay, I gotta. We're going to ground mission, so I gotta shut off all this shit.
Really quickly, Rotncorpse, the items is how the witches channel their magic, and any character loss should be permanent.
We had to ally
yes.
ourselves with the terrain. to
Like, I
ensure-
hate fake
No,
out deaths.
We had to ally ourselves with the terrain.
I don't want the items to be how they channel their magic. I want the items to be things that were personal to them that absorbed a piece of their evil.
Oh, even better. You could have that. That's what the items are. Like, again, they were personal items. Maybe they were gifts between sisters because it always played that they're related. So maybe the good witch of the north gave East those ruby slippers when they were kids, and
I don't know.
You know, that way
At
it
that
mirrors.
point,
Right?
it doesn't matter how they got them. What matters
Well, yeah.
that they are treasured items by the witches.
Yes.
Or if not treasured, then certainly items that are personal in some way. The broomstick is personal in some way because that was her mode of transportation. Glenda transported by way of bubble.
Admiral Tuvok asked me to leave my post at the Daystrom Institute.
You know, but bubbles pop, so that wouldn't necessarily be a good. Why am I not firing? Shoot the damn gun.
A good item to use. Okay.
Yeah, but if it's items that are somewhat utilitarian yet personal, I don't mean emotionally
Admiral
personal,
Tuvok
but
asked me to leave my post at the Daystrom
I mean,
need to
Institute.
know.
because the slippers were kind of not emotional, but
Unique to them.
yeah, they were significant, but not necessarily emotionally personal, but they were significant. Maybe we never really see the Witch of the East because she's under a house.
We never see
maybe
them with
she's-
yourself.
Maybe she's a slave to fashion in some way, and that's why the ruby slippers mattered.
No further hostile beams.
And the witches know that that when you take item and imbue it with relevance, like the witches had with different items,
Mm-hmm.
then that's how they become infused.
Okay.
It's not that it's not that the ruby slippers were always magic. They became magic because the Witch of the East was a fashion slave
I have completed my analysis.
and
First,
became
next, finally, you
and gave them relevance. What do I
Okay.
have to do here? Do I have to push a button? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Line note alpha. What? Wait, what? Fuck up. No, I'm just guessing. But
Maybe
yeah,
the
the thing is, I don't want them to be inherently magic because that, again, we're crapping into Lord of the Rings territory, and that bores me.
Okay.
Because then it just becomes a what do you call it? It just becomes movies about walking, as Kevin Smith pointed out. But yeah, again, it makes sense. That's the important part, is the shit needs to make sense.
Yes.
Okay, so have I... Oh, for fuck's sake. What happened?
defense node.
I was messing with it and I uploaded the
Oh, okay.
and you can't fucking skip it.
All right.
Off to the next one, I guess.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, shoot.
God damn it.
But I think it would. We got a foundation for. And what I was saying. Suppose you and I put together a GoFundMe. We come up with, say, a couple of $1,000,000
Okay.
to start these trilogies.
My
We'd have to
analysis of
pay
this note first. You've next
someone to write them. We'd have to
finally-
oversee the writing to make sure that the writing is up to snuff and it's telling the story we want to tell, and to make sure that it's not loaded with activism.
Okay.
That's going to be one of our rules, I guess. No activism. Activism ruins entertainment. So that one's up, and what the hell?
All right.
Reboot. Charge. Align. Reboot. Charge.
No further hostile beings detected.
Oh,
Connection
okay.
reestablished.
There. Align.
All right. Last one, hopefully.
No doubt.
There it is.
Established.
And you can't skip this goddamn.
Well, activate defense grid. There we go. But we get the writing handled, and then we hire an independent film studio to make the movie for whatever we got left.
I need assistance in the...
To make that first film, which is largely going to follow the same basic pattern as the Wizard of Oz. We're just making it with a different context, and we want to have it clear that we're going to have, or we want it clear that there's room for a sequel.
Yes.
Because we do have to tell the one story of destroying the Wicked West. That's the story in the first film, but there's going to be room for an obvious sequel.
Yes. So even with this, we'd have to deal with the issue of like the whole premise is Dorothy wanting to go home.
When we
Right.
first rescued the
So
Rotncorpse,
essentially we have to kill all 3 witches to go. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that's what we're going to tell Dorothy.
when we first
But
rescued the
It's
Rotncorpse,
not true.
thought we could
but
be
Dorothy loses her way along that journey.
No further hostile beings detected.
Okay, there you are. But you were saying, Mitch?
Dorothy loses her way along the journey and decides that Oz is her.
Be in good shape.
Oz is a better place to stay.
Yeah, Oz is better
Great
takeout.
control of underspace after the Vadwar were defeated. Clearly the Vadwar object.
I can do so much more here than there.
Oh, fucking hell. There we go.
God damn it. But I like that. I like this or that.
No further hostile beings detected.
This but that?
Yeah. Mitch, if you're going to
Yeah,
do that, I want in on that.
Well, yeah, I plan to have I'm not sure how to do it yet, but it's not going to be just me. I have an idea of how to accomplish that as a regular live stream with guests.
Like, that sounds
But
fun.
it's tricky
The
because
Vadwar are relentless.
they're just I'll tell you after the stream. I don't want to give the idea away,
Okay, understandable.
I mean, I want it to be an idea that I implement, give it away on a stream where people can implement it before me who are better at this than I am.
Understandable.
So I'll talk to you about it after the stream
Okay.
for a minute. But I do know some things I want to get in place to do that. And it's it's a great way for
Vadwar are tenacious fighters.
I think we can demonstrate that it's a great formula for coming up with ways to handle not just existing properties and existing IPs, but to come up with new ones.
Yes. How about a superhero story told as a Lovecraftian horror tale?
Oh yeah,
You know,
that can be done.
like you aren't the like. Even if you're gonna fight this war or whatever, these monsters, they're gonna keep coming, and you'll never win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Okay, cutscene. Shut up. I'm a big fan of the fucked up ending.
Oh, so am I.
Like you said, where it involves some sort of a huge sacrifice
Yeah.
that no one expected, and the hero go, oh yeah, you think you're gonna be a hero, but you're gonna be victimized to achieve that. Okay, that thing's down. To achieve that hero status.
Hell,
Victimized in a somewhat serious manner. Come on, what the hell?
There are good tales where the hero fails. There are great.
Oh yeah.
tales. Like not every story should end happily.
No, they shouldn't. The heroes should have to pay a price.
7 of 9.
Yes.
Admiral.
Luke
We detected
got to know his father for 2 seconds and then lost him. That's paying a price.
Yes.
Your ship invaded the Voth outpost. You woke the Vadwar.
Give me a drink here.
Interesting.
Oh God, they won't let me skip
Starfleet
it.
Intelligence did not consider them a threat.
Seriously, for
We
Christ's sake.
believe their numbers were few and their technology outdated.
Really quickly, Rotncorpse.
The Vadwar.
The items could have been gifts from their magical teacher. It would reflect their personality, like each witch shoes because she was a fashion addict.
That would be acceptable.
No, I still don't
Very
think
well.
that's a good way to go.
We will take
Honestly.
the other survivors from
I
the
mean,
list of
because I think
survivors.
that's the path that's already chosen. I think it makes it a more personal thing if the witches imbue these items with
On their own.
power, if you will, on their own, but not because of any conscious thing they've done. It's an item they either rely on or that they fancy.
It's imbued because of usage.
Because yeah, and it's not that like I said, it's not because they've done a spell or an incantation or anything. It's just something that happened because they used the item. It could have been any broom, but it was that broom. Could have been any pair of shoes, but it was that pair of shoes.
Okay.
It could have been any hat, but it was that crown. And I don't know why I'm being such a stickler on this. I think I've got a concept and I'm not ready to stop exploring it.
Again, it's an
Maybe.
interesting
I don't know.
The concept itself is interesting. It takes a QT horror, a QT movie about a child, because Dorothy was young,
The discovery that our old
was essentially what, 15 if I'm not mistaken?
technology.
14 or 15, yeah.
Defeating, a witch to get home and realizing there is no place like home, the one she has.
Right.
But here,
And then at the end of the 2 trilogies, Dorothy does go home, but she's much scarred.
shit, know what you could have? You could have the original Mrs. Box, the woman that took the dog.
There's something
Is
I'd
essentially-
like
Anita.
you to look into.
Yeah,
Anita bitch.
yeah, Anita bitch is essentially what Dorothy becomes. She isn't really a monster, but she isn't a kind person either.
I don't know that I would go that far. I would say that I think when she gets back to Kansas, she gets back at a time where it's too late for everyone she knows. They're already gone. They already died. She's been away too long. Time moves differently in Oz.
Oh,
She
yeah.
gets back home, and she's able to save the farm and all that stuff. But she's scarred by what she has done, and autonav. And now she's kind of reclusive and not really. She's not evil anymore.
Hold on,
but
next
she's
episode?
not nice. Like what?
Next episode, enemies in the unusual place.
Oh God, let me see. I don't remember which one has the chompers. That's why I never play this stuff, is because there are chompers. Why do I need to continue parting of ways? What's going on there?
Not all the experiences of the USS Voyager crew in the Delta Quadrant were positive. Captain Janeway made
Oh, but what I was getting at about the concept I'm not done exploring is the reason I don't want
not all the experiences of the USS
these items to be in any way important before the witches get their hands on them is because that screams too much of destiny and the chosen one and all that kind of stuff that I find personally boring.
Okay, predestination.
If it's just predestination just if they become imbued without any intent to do so, it's just life happening to different people, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So when Dorothy collects these items, it's not because there's any power to them or anything like that. The wizard might know, that's why he wants the broomstick, because he knows that there's something important about it, because after all this time, he can sense it. But not because there was initially, not because anyone chose it for the witch, but because the witch, through use or whatever, made it that way.
I got
and
one
you know,
for
maybe the wizard has his own designs for these items.
I got an idea for that.
What's that?
Maybe he isn't trying to kill them, but he's trying to neutralize them.
Maybe.
You know, maybe he wants to, like, he's the order type of, he's strictly order. You know, I want to put him on trial, but they're far too powerful for me to do that without removing these items from them.
Right.
Well, if you take a broomstick, I can put her on trial. If I can get her on trial, I know if I take the items from the other ones, my plan will work.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good way to do it. But to have them be somehow magic ahead of time, it feels like it cheapens the impact in a way. At least to me, and that's the part I can't let go. For some reason my brain is insisting that these items have to be imbued not by choice but by circumstance. Because if it's done by choice or by destiny or anything like that, it's I mean the witches aren't even aware that they've chosen these items.
Okay.
You know, it's just her favorite pair of shoes, her favorite broomstick, her favorite crown, her favorite amulet, or her favorite necklace.
You know, stuff stuff that she's worn for 100 times, and it has no special meaning.
Yeah, there's nothing special about them at all, except for what the witches have imbued them with because they fancy these items for some reason. That's why. It's because it booted me out of the game. All right, now I'm finishing with that one. But that's why I just want it to be shit from life that happens to our characters. I don't want there to be a grand plan, because if there's a grand plan, it seems to cheapen the adventure a bit. If there's a what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out. If there's a prophecy, it cheapens the adventure a bit. It's too predestination. I don't like it.
Dorothy was foretold to have saved Oz.
Yeah. You know, because look what happened. You were the chosen one. You were supposed to
You were
to
supposed to
rebalance to the first one, not destroy it, whatever. That shit. It's false drama in my head. My head just tells me that it's false drama, and it's not the way to go here.
Okay.
How do we make that clear on screen? I don't know. Maybe by just not addressing it. Or maybe the wizard tells Dorothy, well, these items have power because, my fake, my drunk Alec Guinness voice. These items have power because the witches chose them. They don't even know they did. It's just a thing that happens. Most magic users are unaware of it. I am a wizard. Well, I know these things.
Shit, I still like the concept.
This is your father's lightsaber. Yeah. Anyway.
I like the concept that he is still just a regular man who they are terrified of.
Yes. So do I. But what his goals are not clear right away.
Mm-hmm.
What was that next one? Enemies and all around. Okay, I think that one's. Oh no, that one I can't play either.
Okay. We'll
because it's a non-replayable mission. All that glitters. Doctor, medical emergency, you have to deal with more than a virus. Okay, let's see what happens.
There's something interesting I'd like you to look into.
See, this is the Delta Quadrant arc, so we have the Doctor episode, the Tuvok episode, the 7 of 9 episode, the Neelix episode.
Oh God.
Bad writing.
Rotncorpse really quickly. Rotncorpse, because the item is coveted, they unknowingly putting power into them.
Yeah, basically.
Witch of the West.
And it's not even. Like I said, go on.
Witch of the West did want Witch of the East's shoes, or they thought they should go to her, not someone else. So she did covet them. Well, she coveted it.
Well, see, that's the thing. The wizard. Okay, my idea was that the wizard is the only one who knows. But what if the wicked witch? What if the woundly wotund wigwam? No, what if the Wicked Witch of the West discovered this too? That's why she starts going on this crusade of her own. That's her motivation. Also, is to get her hands on these items.
Oh, I got one.
But she can't. But the witches can't kill each other because they're too evenly matched. Ooh. So when Dorothy drops the house on the Wicked Witch of the East, the Wicked Witch of the West shows up to claim the shoes because she figured it out.
Oh, and have Glenda not be wise. Oh, I gave them to her.
Glenda's not wise to it yet. That's why she gives them to Dorothy. Because, she thinks, oh, Dorothy's done us a favor. Let's give her some shoes. Since Matilda Guard over here, or whatever the Wicked Witch of the West name was, since she wants them so badly, the magic must be powerful indeed. Keep tight in them.
I scanned the service record before your arrival. We've been hailing.
And we've got, again, this way it makes sense.
Okay.
If the Wicked Witch of the West knows, but Glenda hasn't worked it out yet, Glenda will work it out later. Remember, Glenda's still evil.
Yes.
Excellent. Your ship has more powerful sensors than my shuttle.
I think it's a fun idea. I would love to see this materialize somehow. And of course, my first choice of a production studio would be Womp Stomp Films. Because I've seen more than their Friday the 13th content, and they know what they're about. They know how to work on a budget. They know how to do the things. And I think if we could manage a Wizard of Oz film that's a horror film, it would make sense for it to be darker visually as well as in tone. Except for the Munchkin Village. That's probably where a lot of the budget would go.
Oh.
And with Glenda. Because those are... And Emerald City, honestly. Because those are the bright, shiny things, right?
Yeah, and you would expect her territory to be bright and shiny because she's the good witch of the West. Good witch of the North. And everybody has to be happy.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, you already gone in. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, maybe shit, I don't know. Maybe 2 million's not enough. I don't know. What kind of a movie can you do for $2 million to get these ideas across? Or, you know, can we use the limitation to create a style, a visual language?
Okay.
Because, you know, that's one of the things that creates visual language is you don't have much gaps perfect.
A lot of stuff was done on the cheap, and shit, fuck Jaws. Jaws is probably one of the best known low budget. Oh well, we did this because it looks fucked up. We didn't have much money. But
Halloween also.
Yeah, low budget initially, and we did these things to save as much as we could.
Yeah.
And now they're staples of the series. They're
Well, they're staples of the movie watching experience.
Yeah.
At this point, the thing is, this movie isn't those movies because it's another world.
Well, yes.
How do we get that idea across on such a low budget? And that's going to require a lot of creativity from people who build sets and people who, production designers.
Yeah.
And hey,
I would demand.
I'm good with exploring those ideas. I'm curious as to what those ideas will yield, or what those limitations will yield, creativity-wise. I want to see that because that's going to be awesome.
Oh man.
Lead ship.
What was it? Do you remember? Have you ever seen?
Oh, what a wonderful diplomatic negotiation.
It was Bones. From
The TV show?
No, not TV show. The movie with Snoop Dogg, the horror movie.
I don't think I have.
A lot of the sets done on that movie were practical effects. There was a scene where the walls looked like they were alive, like they had people move in like rubber. You know.
Oh yeah.
Well,
okay.
They built that set and had actual people doing the motions, you know, so it gave it a feel. There was a scene where it was raining maggots. All they did was just throw cooked rice to mimic, you know, maggots. They didn't use they didn't use actual, you know, CGI.
They didn't rent maggots. They didn't rent maggots for a day to shoot a scene.
Yeah, but they didn't use CGI either. So it's like fucking the original Ghostbusters. Most of it was practical effects.
Yep.
It's so good.
You know?
Yeah, we don't want a situation where the idea is fuck it, we'll fix it in post.
Yes.
Yes. It's good to see.
But you know, sometimes you do have to fix it in post. There's just no getting around that.
We're giving the Vaudor
But my
fine Talaxian piece.
Can I skip this? Thank God.
Yes. Neelix is okay in small doses.
Yeah, I'm good without him. There he is. But you know, some production designer is going to have a really creative way to do this if it's on a low budget, and I'm curious as to what that would look like.
Yes.
And the thing is, you have to maintain that throughout all 6 of these films.
Yes. The general style, tone, and tenor.
Yeah, it's got to be consistent. And that's, you know, we get the first film off the ground at a budget of $2 million, let's say, for instance, and it does really well, then yes, we can up the production value. But we shouldn't do that without maintaining consistency.
Too much to make peace.
Yeah, we know. Oh, I can't skip it.
Yeah, I know.
The destruction of our cities, the massacres of our people.
Oh, get over it, you big collared nut job.
would you all like for your main course?
You don't ask what they want for the main course after the food's almost ready, you dipshit.
Yeah, I know. Why did you aim for Neelix?
He's dead.
No,
he's dead, Jeff.
Does that make you angry, Talaxian?
No, it makes me sad. For Jolex. And for you.
Then we are not done.
See, Neelix has always been a more interesting character than he's given. There's more depth to him.
Yeah.
What? Oh no, it's the space Vodwar. They're coming to kill the space people on the space asteroid.
Don't they have a planet New Talax? Why aren't they there?
I don't know. Fuck them, that's why. Explain. Alright, what do you speak with the doctor? Hi, doctor.
Bye, doctor.
Yeah, look at the stuff. Tell us what we got. Okay, let's go do this to defeat the Vodwar.
Yay! Hey, Brad. Rotncorpse really quickly again. Spoils of war, or if you keep what you kill. Rotncorpse again. Since you said Glinda's magic is kindness, her territory could be dark, but it makes everyone think it's bright and pretty. Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's a great way to save some budget.
Oh,
because if it's dark, you can hide a lot of imperfections. You know?
Maybe her magic is also illusion based.
Well, yeah, but it's there's also the hex thing.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You get banished to the corn.
Masters. What's that?
Hey, Mike R. Brad, Air, like, comment, share, subscribe, Joel on True. And hey, Mike R.
I gotta check. Okay. I had to make sure that I'm not that I don't have my please stand by screen up still. All right. I gotta shoot more space Vodwar. But I gotta do other things first.
Oh, come on. Why is there glass here?
What? Wait, what was that? Was on. There we go.
You know, it boggles my mind that the Talaxians don't, fire back.
Yeah, no kidding.
We've saved the hostages.
See, that's the funny thing about a lot of these games. They don't know it, but they're making a great argument for the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
I don't want to scan the damn Trionium.
Well, I do.
There's something I'm supposed to interact with here. Where is it? Do I have to get the Talaxians? Yeah, okay.
What about the people in logistics?
Yeah, shut up. Bad voice acting.
Why aren't you, like, in the forefront? You could take... Ah, Jesus Christ.
Damn kids today, man.
Like, you can't tell me the entire species isn't... whatever.
Is there a button I gotta push here, too?
Doctor, you have to save them. These are my friends.
Yeah, it's going too far. Now I hate Neelix.
They are beyond my help now, Neelix.
Yep, too bad. What's next? You just let me shoot the bastards, please.
We can still save the others. We have to get to the shuttle in the cargo bay.
Neelix is capable of anger.
Oh, yeah. Why he's not armed here, I have no idea. Oh, there he is. He is armed. Good.
Mr. Dax, now you hate Neelix. I've always hated Neelix. I just hate him even more right now.
It's not easy to like Neelix when when Ethan Phillips is given such bad dialogue.
To join us here as soon as possible.
And the Doctor seems like he's whispering by comparison to some others in this game, and
More Vodwar on the way.
I hate Neelix's performance.
It's bad mixing.
Mr. Dax, it's not that I hate Neelix, which I do. I hate Neelix's performance.
More on the way. If I weren't a hologram, I'd be worried.
Like, there are some great Neelix episodes, and there are a lot of shitty ones too.
Yeah, there really are.
A large number of Vodwar are closing in. I'm afraid they may be too much for you to handle.
No, they won't.
The Teray are here to assist. After this, our debt to you is repaid.
Yeah, whatever. Give us something to shoot at.
That's timely. Here come the...
Thank you.
I wonder what they're gonna do once the Federation leaves, because
yeah. No, they're good. They're gonna have to form alliance and treaties and all that nonsense.
Our help does not mean we are now allies. We are
Fine with me.
yeah, I don't, Mr. Dax, yeah, I don't dislike the actor, I just like the character, yes.
Well, yeah, a lot of people dislike the character. I think the character is actually interesting. It's just he's not often given the interesting stuff to chew on as a character.
Yeah.
Because Voyager was a bad show.
Well, again,
I don't care what anyone says. Voyager was a bad Star Trek series. I don't care what anyone says.
But my issue is he is a civilian on a military vessel.
I knew this meeting was a fuck.
And he doesn't act military, like he acts like a civilian. Not, oh, I'm part of the a military hierarchy. Maybe I should behave as such. Like, turn the captain's mess into a general mess hall. That'd have got him court-martialed, or at least keel-hauled.
He was right, though, to be honest. But, oops, wrong button. It kicked me out again.
But right doesn't always make, like, for militariness, you know, it's the captain's mess.
No, but Janeway, in one of Janeway's good moments, she did recognize that he was right about it. And she acted accordingly. The thing about Neelix being a civilian, he was a soldier, if I'm not mistaken. But
no, he was a traitor.
When they met him, before that, I believe he was a soldier. But where he's at in his life now on Voyager, or when Voyager was airing, he was a traitor, yeah, but he was also an ambassador.
Well, he didn't get ambassadorship till like what, season 4 maybe?
Oh, I know, but he was effectively an ambassador. He was a guide.
Yes.
So that I could handle that outside of the military structure. It doesn't break it for me.
Okay.
What breaks it for me is him being forced to play it immature and jealous because of Kes.
Yeah.
And Kes was an annoying character.
Yeah.
Kes, I think, had less business being on Voyager than Neela. And I think it was a brilliant move to get her off the show. Because she was uninteresting. Oh, I'm going to help the doctor. Here's a hypodermic gun. Here's a hypospray, doctor.
Oh, I have better telepathy than the than the Vulcan. I can.
Yeah, I have superpowers.
Yeah.
I have superpowers, and that made her boring. It made her even more boring. Oh, I'm genetically different from my own species. I have superpowers. Fuck you, movie. It was because she entered Mary Sue territory. And for no good reason.
Mr. Dax, Voyager had promised, but they dropped the ball by playing it safe. I think they should have ended up just like the Captain Ransom and the I forget the name of the
Equinox.
ship. The Equinox, yes.
Yeah, that would have been more interesting. It would have been, if they were in any way interested in character development, they'd have gone so far and have Janeway slowly start to lose it and have Chakotay pull her back.
I've been in
Yeah.
Gaul has shown his true nature. Senseless.
But they just sometime, and I'm gonna say it was late season 6 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where Star Trek really started to lose the plot. Because that's when they started making
the Borg the primary enemy.
No, not on DS9 they didn't.
Oh no, at that time, but Star Trek, Voyager.
I'm going with current lockbox this time. We're just about at the end of our time too.
Oh yeah.
No, with Voyager, I'm going to head back to ESD, but I'm going to take the long way around while we're discussing things. Voyager, or I'm sorry, about somewhere in late season 6 DS9, I think is where they introduced Vic Fontaine. I don't know if I don't know if that was late season 6 or early season 7, but when they introduced Vic Fontaine and turned Deep Space Nine into a musical, fuck that show. every time that I've got nothing against James Darren, fine singer, but that's not why I'm watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So every time I'm rewatching Deep Space Nine and that motherfucker starts singing, I fast forward. I do everything I can to avoid it because it's annoying. It is absolutely lame. I don't know whose idea that was, but it was a shit idea, and it's completely, it pulls you out of the show.
Yes.
It's not a Star Trek show at that point. But after that, when they went with Voyager, which was supposed to be, Lady Captain, yay, and I don't care about that so much. But if you're going to be Lady Captain, yay, give the Lady Captain the center fucking seat, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Don't try to play a feminist card when the captain is not the center of attention on the bridge. That's bullshit. None of the feminists ever brought it up.
Shit.
Either.
I got a better compromise. Give her a raised platform. Make it a dual seat, but give her a raised platform.
No, because then it's still off center and it looks wrong. The only way to do it is the center seat. You don't do a command bench, because you need a clear chain of command in a military situation, and you don't get that when you're utilizing a command bench. You can't run a starship on committee. And that's exactly what you get when you utilize a command bench. It's stupid. It was a dumb idea. It was a dumb set design. And fuck that show. It pulls me out of it. You might as well have a guy come on and start fucking singing.
We almost did.
Well, yeah, because they tried to have their own holosuite nightclub thing with that pool hall and with Janeway's ancient France fucking thing. Whatever.
Oh no, they did have a musical episode. There was an episode where the Doctor became for those highly advanced species where he started singing.
Hey, it makes sense for the Doctor to, because the Doctor was big on exploring his. Basically, he was big on growing beyond his program.
Yes.
So something like that kind of does make sense, because that is a part of the human experience. And all he's got to base the expansion of his program on is the humans and whatever beings around him.
Rotncorpse and Misadventures. Chakotay could be liked. Here's a green sexy man. Go bang the anger out. Mr. Dax. They sort of made Janeway into a Marcy because she was a scientist, therefore understanding in medicine, engineering, and the entirety of science. Plus, she was a commander and had some tactical insight.
Yeah, she was a shit character. And honestly, I'd have gone with a different actress.
In the original pilot, there was a different actress.
Genevieve Bujold.
Yeah, and I liked her performance.
I'm not sure I did. I think, honestly, I don't think she could have lasted the 7 years. She, fine actress, I'm sure. I haven't seen her in anything that I know of. But, she didn't feel right either, but neither did Kate Mulgrew to me.
Okay.
And that's nothing against Kate Mulgrew. I'm sure she's a fine actress. I liked her in Mrs. Columbo. I liked her in Remo Williams.
I wonder if I can find that brief pilot of Janeway.
Oh, I've seen it.
I've seen it too.
John. And she did fine, but she didn't stand out. Her performance didn't seem... It seemed like she didn't take any real interest in it.
Nicole Janeway.
Yeah.
There it is. It's only about 2 minutes long. I'll play it on my screen. Let's see.
But I don't know. She's lacking something in her performance, and I can't really put my finger on it. It's like she's tired.
I always seen it as subdued. No, not what I want to do. Cancel. It's more she's subdued. She's more Wait, Janeway was emotional.
I would say Catherine Janeway is an extrovert and Nicole Janeway is an introvert.
Yes. And it pops up just like I want it.
Groovy.
Okay. Let me contort to screen. There we go. Make sure it pops up on the... of course she's tired. She didn't get her coffee most of the time.
Yeah. No kidding.
All right, let's...
But hell, they had full theater access at that point.
All right, I'll play it. Hopefully everybody can hear it. I don't know. I think she'd have been a good actress.
Like I said, I'm sure she's a fine actress. I don't think she was right for the part. And plus, we already had French Jean-Luc Picard. In that, I don't know, that's the kind of thing that, for an IP that preaches diversity, that's not a good way to go if you've already had a French actor or a French character. I'd have preferred a lady captain who was Scottish and bitchy.
I got 2 chats from Mr. Dax and Mike R and Frosted. All right, so Mr. Dax says, of course she's tired. She didn't get most of her coffee most of the time. She seemed like a background character. Mike R says the Kardashians. Frosted says, with how loud it is every time they press a button, imagine the cacophony of sounds when they're typing a novel. Frosted,
no kidding.
The last thing we need is more frogs in space. Oh, God.
Well, that's why I play a cat.
Mr. Dax, for true diversity, Justin Trudeau in blackface and heels.
There you go. Hey, it would have gotten attention.
It'd have been a Cuban.
I don't know that Genevieve or Genevieve, as some people pronounce it. I don't know what the proper pronunciation is. I don't know if she's a leading lady. I tend to think she's not, because why have I not heard of her?
I mean,
outside of I think I saw her in one other film, but she was either part of an ensemble or she was a secondary character.
Let's see what she's done. See her filmography then, really quickly. Filmography. I mean, she got a few acting titles under her name.
Yeah.
She got a lot of acting credits on.
How many of them are leading roles?
I couldn't tell you because I don't speak French.
There you go. That's another thing. And I think that contributes to her not being able to handle a lead role in an English-speaking production.
And she's Canadian.
There's always that.
And she's still alive. Wow.
This is the thing about being an actor, okay?
Okay.
This is why it's hard on them. Because here I am. I'm nobody, right?
Okay.
But I'm making what I think are valid points and criticisms, but they're not criticisms of her exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was miscast.
Okay.
I don't think that Captain Janeway was the role for her. And I'm glad they changed it up, but I don't think Kate Mulgrew was the way to go.
Imagine her, B'Elanna Torres.
Don't even get me started on Torres.
No. Alter Torres, where she isn't a Klingon half human hybrid, and make her B'Elanna Torres, or she's the French girl.
That's no. Although it would have been better than Roxanne Dawson.
Shit, turn Harry Kim in again. Oh shit! I got one better for you. Hear me out. First off, make her the Doctor.
That would have been fun. Maybe.
She's the EMH.
I could see that.
It's her trying to be more and give her the same arc he had, or even make her a secondary doctor under him or alongside him, sort of like how we had Dr. Pulaski and we also had Crusher, which I prefer Pulaski to Crusher always.
So do I. But the reason I don't like Dr. Pulaski is nothing to do with the actress or the character. Kind of to do with the character. The reason I don't like her is because they tried too hard to make her modern Dr. McCoy. And that was annoying.
Yes.
Because she had the same character. She didn't like the transporter. She fought with Data because Data was machine-like, just like McCoy would fight with Spock. Although, they weren't really fights. They were disagreements and whatnot. But I'm disappointed in the way Pulaski as a character was handled and written. I think it could have been done in a far better manner.
I never saw them as her as a modern Bones. I always saw her as a motherly role to Data. She when he would do something like the episode where he had to deal with the little shit, the Observer and Stratagema. It was her.
Yeah.
It was her feeling bad because she goaded him into playing against him, and now he's acting all mopey because he lost. It's her fault. Like, God damn it, I fucked now my kid feels bad. It's all my fucking fault.
Let's see. Now that would have been her playing a motherly type role to Data would have been more interesting.
Yes.
Because they tried to replicate the Spock McCoy dynamic and it failed. And I want to believe that that's in part because of Diana Muldaur, the actress.
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you can't replicate that without it coming across badly. And I bet she adjusted her performance to try to compensate for that.
Hell, just imagine some of the episodes like with him dealing with Law or whatever his daughter was, and she's there instead of Crusher. And when he's dealing with all that stuff, she's trying to make him feel better in a sense.
Yeah.
And
it would be interesting if she came in and understood Data in a way that no one else did.
Mm-hmm.
With the possible exception of Geordi, because Geordi and Data were friends.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a different relationship also.
Yeah. Geordi can't hug him.
Mm-hmm. Right. Dr. Pulaski understands him in a different way. And they have an entirely different relationship that's nearly maternal.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a fascinating story to tell. But instead they just went, it'll be like McCoy and Spock. Oh, and you don't like the transporter. Just like Dr. McCoy. We're going to make you the new Dr. McCoy. And I don't know, that they ruined the character. Pulaski was saved, I think, by the performance of the actress.
I got some super chats I'll read really quickly. Frosted Glass. Roseanne Barr as Janeway. That would be funny. And then Frosted Glass again. There are so many roles she could have had. The ship's nurse, the ship's cook, the ship's secretary. The possibilities were endless.
She's just not going back to Genevieve Bujold, she's just not a leading lady. Not in an English-speaking thing, because communication is important. But shit, we're about a half hour longer than we usually run, so
wow.
I think it's about time we call. We have some good stuff to talk about, too. Good brainstorming, too, for the fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about this, is that being able to brainstorm this stuff, and am I wrong?
No, I love
that's the question. No. What I'm getting at, am I wrong in criticizing the writing in Hollywood?
No, God no.
Because I don't know what other influences are happening. I do know some things, but my experience in hearing about what those things are is limited, because I'm not a piece of the Hollywood machine.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I know that there's the whole DEI thing, that there's the message push.
The message.
Exactly. There's that's still going on. There's studio interference that we've talked about before. But there's also the thing where everyone in Hollywood wants shit for free. The studios want you to work for them for free.
Mm-hmm.
They want you. Harlan Ellison once did an interview where he talked about this, where he worked on, he was a consultant on Babylon 5.
Okay.
And I think he wrote a couple episodes too. And they were putting the packaging together for, I think, the full series after it had been produced.
Mm-hmm.
And Harlan Ellison had done this big video essay. I say big, but apparently well received video essay about his work on Babylon 5. And they wanted to include that in the extra features, bonus disc kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they called him about it. Some intern at MGM. The way he tells the story is brilliant, because Harlan Ellison at that point, he had already been around the block several times. He knew his value. He knew his worth. He knew. He also knew what Hollywood was and how they would want to take advantage of you.
Mm-hmm.
So some intern, as he just tells the story, calls him from MGM and they want to use that video essay he did for the packaging of Babylon 5. And he's like, yeah, all you got to do is pay me. And she's like, what? And like, yeah, you got to pay me. That's my work. You got to pay me if you want to include it. It's like, well, other people have, look, lady, other people may be assholes, but I'm not. You know, and he gets pissed off about it, and he's right about this too, I think. And like I said, he's in the know more than I. Like, you know, what is MGM out there with an eye patch selling pencils out of a tin cup? Fuck no, pay the writer.
Yeah.
You know, and he goes on. He's like, they want everything for free. These people, they won't do a goddamn thing without getting paid for it. You know, when you go buy your groceries, do you try to negotiate? When you go put gas in your car, do you try to negotiate? When you pay the Teamsters to load and carry all this shit for a production, do you try to negotiate? Fuck no. Pay the fucking writer. You know, he gets pissed off about it. And he goes on again. It's like, it really pisses me off because it's the amateurs that fuck it up for everyone. The amateurs come in and they think that getting paid with exposure is, oh, they're going to look at me. You know, Harlan Ellison had already had an established career at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck is he going to give them something for free when he knows damn well that they need to pay for it? And he's right. The amateurs go in there and undercut everyone because they don't know that they're supposed to get paid for shit, and they don't know how much they're supposed to get paid for shit. And so I think that's part of the equation where we're at now. I think that's part of the problem. These people don't know what they're supposed to be paid or that they're supposed to be paid. So you got these production companies, Secret Hideout, for example, hiring hack fraud writers because they don't want to spend the money on honest to God science fiction writers like the original, like Desilu did with the original series.
Mm-hmm.
Desilu Studios, owned by Lucy and Desi Arnaz, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz own that studio, are the reason we have Star Trek today.
Really?
Because, yeah, it was their studio that put it together, that filmed it.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And they were smart enough to fucking hire real writers. You know, we get like look at Arrow and all those shows. As long as they lasted, as popular as the Arrowverse was, one of the major complaints about it is that it's a fucking teenage drama with all these people in their late 20s and 30s. And you know, that's a valid complaint because they hired fucking CW teenage drama writers who only write about high school students to write this shit.
Yes.
Pay the real writers to write you a solid show, and you will get the returns on that investment. Stop trying to make money right now and plan to make money in the long run. When it comes getting back to the Friday the 13th thing, don't fucking chicken shit cheap out on a good writing team. If you're gonna do a show like Crystal Lake, hire writers who are good writers and fans of the property, because it's the fans of the property who are gonna know what the tone should be. You're not gonna get that from some marketing exec from a subsidiary of a bigger studio. That's not going to happen. You're not going to get that kind of knowledge from an executive that works in a distribution company.
Frothy Glass, really quickly. Frothy Glass says, "I gotta say, I Love Lucy on Star Trek on a Star Trek ship would be intriguing."
Oh, I'd get frustrated really quick. Lucy and Ethel were morons. But you know, Lucille Ball was a great performer. She played that role and did it well. You know, I'm not saying that Lucille Ball was a moron. her character Lucy and the character Ethel were morons.
Robert
But anyway,
on a Star Trek ship would be funny. One of these days, Janeway, one of these days, zip, bam, straight to Alpha Centauri.
that wasn't Lucy and Ethel though. That was
It was Honeymooners.
It was Jackie Gleason from The Honeymooner.
Yes, there it is.
I can't remember the guy's name. The character's name. Damn it. Yeah, and Alice, his wife. But anyhow, that's going to be enough for me tonight. I think I'll handle my closing first. How's that?
Sure, go right ahead.
Thanks everyone for coming out. That's good to see someone new in the chat. It would have been Tyr, but he was over streaming that way. So he's got his own concerns. He can't be concerned with populating my chat. But thanks for coming out. And if you like this kind of content, please do like, share, comment, subscribe if you can. If you can't, I guess don't. I don't know. But until next time, this is Mitch Nemo signing off.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out, watching the stream. If you go to the pinned comment in the chat, or if you go to the description, you will find 5 GoFundMes from my friends, James Colley and Arreaga, Moonshock, the Hey Camel, and Maddy. These are all good guys, all good people, and they've fallen on some hard times and could use help. Again, like Mitch said, if you like our content, please like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next week. All right, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye.